Hello, good morning. No, it's Laurie. You can see me. I'm out on the street. Yeah, look at this. And anyone else who's joined me, good morning. Welcome to Hanoi. So this is the first live tour I've done for a while, as in live, real live. And today we're going to walk through the neighbourhood that we're staying in and see some of the local life, see some of the street food stalls. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming along. And to anyone who's watching this later, welcome to you as well. I thought he just called out to me. I wasn't sure. You hear noises and you think you're being talked to. So we're going to walk along our alleyway, and we're going to see some street stalls, as I said, some street food. There's a breakfast setting up right where I'm standing, and so you'll be able to see some of that. And then we're going to head down towards the lake. So, hi Catherine, good morning. Lovely to see you. So it's 5:45 in the morning, and let me just turn this camera around so you can see where I am. We're actually standing right next to a hospital. Using StreamYard, and it's a little bit tricky to do this, turn the camera backwards and forwards. It's not as easy as in other places, but we'll get there, we'll manage. There we go, we do that, and I need to now do that. There we go, we should be right now. So here we are, we're in Hanoi, we're in a Hanoi street. This is our lane that we're staying in. We're right across the road from a hospital. There's the hospital right there. And we're about to head down our laneway. And I don't know where he's gone. Anyway, I can't be worrying about where Richard is. I just have to keep going. So when we arrived for this stay here, we were 2 hours early for check-in. So we came to this cafe, which isn't open yet, and sat and watched right across the road this amazing little eatery, which is literally set up on the width of a footpath. And it changes throughout the day. So there's a different vendor here in the morning than it is at lunchtime, and again in the evening, in the afternoon. And they're serving pho, which is a traditional breakfast meal, and it's based on a soup. It's basically a noodle soup, but you'll see here the big vat where the broth is, and then she adds her ingredients to it. In this case, it's chicken. Oh, she actually does chicken and beef. So we've got gar, which is chicken, and we've got bo, which is beef. And she just sets up there. She serves it straight from that display cabinet that you can see. And to that, she adds her noodles and her vegetables, her toppings. And this is where people sit. Hi, Jay. Hi, Sarah. So this is the morning eatery, and then later on in the day it'll change and there'll be a different vendor for lunchtime. So we're going to walk along our laneway. We're actually staying up there on the left, just past that hostel sign. And you'll see if we look up just how narrow this laneway is. And during the day, the whole feel of the laneway changes as different businesses open and others close during the course of the day. Here we have a banh mi stall. This opens a little bit later. They also serve sticky rice. And then we have motorbike hire. There's quite a few hostels along here. It's a bit of a cheap accommodation street. And we also have tour vendors. So if we look up, you probably notice the buildings with their balconies. And why that's interesting is will become apparent when we get round to one of the other laneways. But I'm going to go down here first. We're a little bit early for some of the fruit and vegetable vendors. I was hoping to see some of those, but we might see them set up during the course of our walk this morning. Here's another breakfast eatery. We haven't tried this one, but it does look really interesting, except for the tofu. We're not big fans of tofu, and I know that they have a lot of tofu here. which we can see the meat being chopped up. Here's a banana seller. So we know that we can come down here at any time. Hi, Annette. We can come down here and get our bananas from this vendor here. And on this corner, they're selling mangoes and melons. And then we have different vendors getting set up, ready to head out for the day. This is a bar. We haven't been to this one yet. It's more of a Western bar. Laurie says, in case anyone thought... Yes, the other day I was doing a live and it was literally from what looked like a broom cupboard. Hi, Ronnie Lynn, welcome. So if we have a look up here, I'm going to turn into this laneway up ahead. And the reason I mentioned balconies earlier is you'll see just how odd the balcony situation can be in some areas of town. I'm just hoping the light's good enough to actually see it. So this little laneway here goes back to our lane. And if we look up, okay, up there, you can see there are balconies. Now, what is their purpose? And the only thing we can think of is that building codes didn't stop one building being built right up against the other. You can't even, there are air conditioners in between these two buildings. Can you imagine if they need service? Here, let me see. It's really hard to see what I'm talking about, but up there are balconies that face literally walls without any space in between. So there we go. That's the little laneway near us. And then it obviously was here for tourism or something at some point, because we've even got a map on the wall here, an old tourist map. So I can't imagine anyone stopping to have a look at this map these days, because it's literally in a little dark alley. You watch too much true crime. And here's another breakfast venue. And we've reached the point, we have tried a few of these places, but I just can't get down and get back up again from these stools. So we start to look for what we're calling adult chairs, adult seating. Now, I'm going to go back along this street just a little way to show you. This is a delightful street. There's a bit of a cafe culture along here, but they've also dressed up the walls. We're alongside the cathedral here. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. Great to see you. I hope your travels in Turkey are going amazingly well. I'm loving your photos. Jay says, when I lived in Albany, my New York neighbour's building was only about 18 inches away. I could reach out my bathroom window and touch it. Oh, see, I don't know how any city allows that to happen. All right, so here we go. This is a little bit of street art, I guess, along the wall here. And also seating for the breakfast venues that are literally located immediately opposite. And what we're about to look at is your first Michelin guide selected eatery in Hanoi. And we ate here. Now this place is called Pho Bar Tierdo, I think it's called. This is a Michelin venue, and you'll see in a moment. I'll show you on the wall. The certificate is up on the wall, up there in between the two fans. You can actually see. I can't zoom in on this app, but there's the Michelin framed certificate up there on the wall between the two fans. And this is a fur. This place does fur. They just do beef fur. It's a little bit early to see everything that she's doing just yet, but they literally put the different kinds of beef out on that bench where she's working right now. And may I look? No, she's telling me no. So that's fine. And then across the way, there's another cauldron of broth on the bubble over open fire. I guess this is like a second batch brewing. And they have the greens set up, and then the tables in between where you get to eat are set up already with condiments and utensils. So you've got your toppings, your lime, your chili, your fresh garlic, all set up here. Chili sauces and your chopsticks and vinegar, soy sauce, all set up here, ready for people to eat. So that's the Michelin rated or Michelin Guide selected, I believe it is, for establishment. We've been to a second Michelin place as well. They're so cheap. I mean, really, I think we paid something like $3 for breakfast in a Michelin Guide selected venue. All right, so we're going to head around to the cathedral now. Some of the lights are still on, so it's looking still quite pretty. Welcome to anyone else who's joined. Give me a wave, say hi, let me know who's here. And I'll just come in through this side gate. As some of you may have already seen some footage from this cathedral. I showed some girls dancing on the steps of the cathedral in a short video the other day. This is St. Joseph's Cathedral. I'm not sure when it dates from, but I think it's somewhere in the 19th century. And we've had a sneak peek in through the door during Sunday service last weekend. It's quite pretty inside. A little bit, probably needs some cleaning on the outside. It looks like it's a little bit city affected. There we go. That's the St. Joseph's Cathedral. All right. And then immediately in front of the cathedral, we can see the statue of the Madonna with these cool topiaried trees right in front. There's a bit of an orchid display. I'm not even sure if they're real. I've been trying to work out if these orchids are real. They're very pretty. There we go. They are gorgeous, aren't they, Jay? And I'm going to see if I can line up. There we go. How does that work? The Madonna lined up through through that cross there. It sort of works. I don't know if you managed to get a postcard of that or not, whether that works for us. Okay. Hanoi is a lovely city. It's really green. So there's plantings everywhere. There's street trees everywhere. Even with the narrow streets, you can see that there are trees everywhere. And in particular, these purple flowering street trees. Which way did we decide to go? Is it that way? That way? Yep. We tossed up which way we should go because we've got a choice here. And it's a lovely time to be walking around the city because there's literally no traffic at all. Any other time of day, you'd be fighting between a million motorbikes to get through this intersection. So look at this tree here. Oh, Joanne, it is. I've got my Google Maps going constantly. We're meeting Kong for dinner tonight, and it's to a place that I've been to before. We went there for lunch after the tour that he invited me along to. I'm still gonna. It's almost a straight route, but I'm still gonna need my maps to get to it. So scattered in amongst the really narrow buildings, you've got these quite impressive hotels as well, scattered all over the town. Although that one says it's a church. I'm only just noticing that. I thought it was a hotel. What's Minerva? Is that Greek or Turkish or something? Minerva Church. Surely that's a hotel. That can't be a church. Here, look up here. It's got an Indian restaurant in it. Can't be a church. Maybe they've taken over an old building. All right, we're going to wait for these motorbikes to pass. Okay, there we go. And cross over here. So as you are probably aware, Reunification Day happened on the 30th of April. There was a big celebration for that. It was 70 years since reunification. There's a little temple tucked away just through this gateway here. I've shown you a lot of temples. I'm not sure if we should worry about going in through here. We could have a quick look. Let's have a little quick look. Jay says, oh, thanks, Jay. Thanks for the Google. Jay says it's a hotel. Okay, we won't disturb the gentlemen who are here for early morning prayers. But this is just, there are little temples like this tucked away all over the city. How close can I get inside? Of course, you have to take your shoes off if you want to go inside the temple, but so little temples like this tucked away all over the city. What's remarkable about this one is, are these lemons? Or grapefruit? Or maybe they're pomelo. I don't know. They're the largest citrus fruit I think I've ever seen, including pomelo. And there, that's inside the temple. It's quite pretty, but I'm not going inside. Okay. So we will see some of the flags and festoonery still lingering from Reunification Day celebrations. Those are the biggest lemons ever. They are, aren't they? Yeah, Sarah, I tried to avoid him and I didn't succeed. Sorry. Apologies for that. And I'm going the wrong way. And we also can't avoid Starbucks. Even in a city with amazing coffee literally everywhere, someone felt the need to have Starbucks as an option. But I guess they have to cater to the needs and tastes of tourism. So I'm not sure what this building is across the road, but there's lots of images of the city. and different festivities depicted on the outside of it. And then this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous temple here, the grey and white. It's so pretty. And look at the bonsais out the front. Isn't that pretty? It's almost like Wedgwood, the way the semi-relief ornate embellishments on the top there picked out against the grey background. And up ahead we have the lake. So if you were with me with Kong when we went to see the mosaic, you'll remember that the city has celebrated 1,000 years of being a capital city. And this lake is the central focal point of Hanoi, the city. It's called Kiem Lake, which means return of the sword. $10. Yeah, that's about how much the coffees cost there as well, isn't it? And on my left here is one of the puppet theatres. So that there's two that I know of. There could be more, but there's two that I know of, water puppet theatres, and this is one of them. It's called the Lotus Water Puppet Theatre. Last night we went to a different one, the oldest in the city, and it's just on the other side of the lake from here. And the show was amazing. It was so good, just delightful. I'm going to try and put together some footage from it and bring it to you. Joanne says, I was reading an article the other day about how badly Starbucks is doing in Vietnam. I'm not surprised, Joanne. I mean, there's so much better coffee and it's literally everywhere. And now we get to see the early morning crowds because everyone comes out at this time of day, sensibly, to do their exercise, whether it's bike riding, walking, jogging. This is a one-way street and we're going to join the walkers. I'm going to try and get across to the other side of the walkers though. Okay. So here we are at Hoan Kiem Lake, and across in the water, in the middle of the water there is Turtle Tower. We'll get a few views of that. So there's a legend about a turtle. Well, there's two in fact. There's an ancient legend and there's a more recent one. Laurie says, yeah, everyone hates them. They'll never survive. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. They'll never survive. There's so much better coffee, and yet 10 years later, they are always still there. Saw it in a lot of places. I don't drink coffee, but I do know a lot of people go there for reasons other than the quality of their coffee. Probably for the Wi-Fi, do you think, Laurie? All right, so here we go. Here's a nice big sign you can take as a postcard of the Hanoi sign. Images of tall towers in the background. To be frank, we haven't actually seen very many tall towers yet. Staying in the old town, you don't get to see very many. But the tower in the middle, Turtle Tower, there was a legend, dates back to the 15th century, of a king, and it's claimed that there was a golden turtle that lived in the lake, and the turtle returned a sword to the king. And that was actually a character in this puppet theatre show we saw last night, the golden turtle, and he's carrying the sword and he's returning it to the king, and all of that was happening. Of course, it was all in Vietnamese, so we had to sort of guess somewhat as to what was going on during the show. But this tower was apparently constructed by a French construction worker, and he claimed that he was building it for the turtle, as a resting place for the turtle that lived in the lake. And there was actually a turtle recently that lived in this lake, bizarrely, a really big one that died recently. So they're all sort of interconnected. It's very, very odd, very weird. But this construction worker, French, his actual intention was to bury his father there. The workers, though, had other ideas. The local workers, they didn't want anything to do with the French, so they removed the remains and disposed of them somewhere else. So there you go. There's another odd story about the tower, and it's called. Oh no, I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. But in English, it's Turtle Tower, and we get to see some of the lovely sun, early morning glow, reflecting on the surface of the lake here as well. Just glancing around to the left, it's probably difficult to see, but you can see some sort of red tinge on the top of the trees over there. They're red flowering trees. I think they're poinsettias. I'm not sure if we're going to make it all the way around there. We'll see how far we get. And above us are these purple flowering trees that I mentioned before that are everywhere, used as street trees. They're actually called crepe myrtle, but they're not the crepe myrtle that we're familiar with. So it's just a local crepe myrtle. We're going to see people doing different kinds of exercising. I may not zoom in on people or linger on them, but we might see some interesting exercise happening as we walk. Is it misty? It's not misty, but it's overcast. Just going to get up to another spot where we can look out here at the tower. Look at all these people doing their exercise. I think it's fantastic. Just sort of, I'm slowing down traffic here. Let these people pass. There's a gorgeous sculpture, and I'm not going to manage to get it all in frame, but we'll do it slowly. We'll pan across. So here we go with the tower in the background. It is humid. Look at the sky there now. And then we have this beautiful sculpture in the foreground with the fish. They look like koi carp to me. Quick, an opportunity without people in it. And I'm just going to show you the outlines that are difficult to see, but the way the shaping of this sculpture is to make it look like fish rippling through water. Isn't that beautiful? All right. And we have one of the flowers that's fallen on the ground to show you. So that's what the flower looks like. So anyone who's familiar with a Western crepe myrtle knows that this isn't what we know as crepe myrtle. There we go. Look at that. You can probably already hear the music. It's coming from right across the other side of the lake, but the exercise class is happening. Pride of India. Thank you, Lynn. I've been trying to find out what the English name for the tree is. Thank you so much. And then here we can see, this reminds me of home, because in Australia we get the jacarandas blooming in summer next to the flame trees. You get the red and the purple next to each other. And here we have the Pride of India. Now I know that name. alongside this, what I think is a poinsettia. A poinciana, not a poinsettia, a poinciana. Is anyone familiar with the poinciana tree? It's a tropical tree in Australia. We don't get that in Sydney. But when you see a flame tree next to a jacaranda, it's just spectacular. The other day we were sitting here having coffee. Up ahead you'll see some green umbrellas. And we were sitting there and looking out over the lake, and every now and again we'd see movement in the water. And something appeared to be emerging. I actually sent a message to Kong and I said, we've found Hanoi's Nessie. And he sent me a shocked face emoji. I described it to him and he said, try and get me a video. So we did. It was very poor. It wasn't a very good video. But we're not sure if now there is another turtle resident in the lake. So I guess it's possible. I mean, who knows? People release things in places they shouldn't. So there may be a new turtle occupying the lake. Laurie says, I wonder if the order of the movements is set or if they're just winging it. In terms of the exercise, do you mean? These people are probably just doing their own thing that we're coming across here. But once we get over to that corner, you'll see the big exercise class happening. And that's structured, that's organised. Loch Ness turtle, yes. And I'll try and get you it. Oh, that's the tannoy starting. Maybe. They have public, they have a PA system throughout the city. Well, in fact, it's throughout Vietnam, I understand. And public announcements are made, government public announcements. This is where we were sitting when we saw the movement in the water. And they have government announcements and then they play patriotic music. So with any luck, we might get to hear some of that as well. But these ladies are practicing with fans. And it says probably used to use it for propaganda. They still do. They still do. You've got to love your country and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Be loyal to your country. And then they play Russian music. So it's a liberal country, but it still beats with a communist heart, if that makes any sense. Across the way here we have the big post office. So that's the Vietnam Post Office, VNPT Hanoi. You'll see there's an organised exercise class in the middle of the intersection over here. And then across the road, it's like the people who are joining in and following along, but unofficially. Hi, Gregory. Discreet earphones must be popular amongst their teenagers. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Should I go over there? Yes, let's go over there. Here's some of the lovely old buildings across the road. And this, I'm not sure what this symbol means, but it's filled with pink and white flowers. I think it's a symbol for Hanoi. Pink building. Let me turn around and have a look at the pink building in a moment. But either side of it, you've got this is filled with planters. Pink. Oh yes, there we go. There's the pink building. Let me see what it says. It's got a name on it. Something Kong. I don't know. I don't know what it says. B Bun Kong or something. It says. All right, here we go. So we've got. Oh no, this is an organised exercise class. They're just not all in their matching t-shirt. You're probably not going to hear me for a little while, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. I think so, Annette. All right, so here behind me we've got the ladies with their exercise class, and then across the road you can probably hear it already. So on every corner you've got a different group. I wish I had that much energy at that time of the morning. Yes, Joanne, I agree. It's enough to be out here watching them. All right, here we go. We've got to bluff the traffic and be determined. So here we have the ladies across the road that are unofficially joining in. But what we also have here is an upmarket shopping centre. So here's Gucci on the outside. Oh, thank you. Here we go. All right, so that's probably killed my my YouTube chances of getting monetized. Okay. And Annette says she'd like to try the McDonald's here just to see if it tastes the same. So we might have to set you a mission. Yep. Richard says challenge accepted. He's been trying to look for an excuse to go to McDonald's. Just cross back over. Yeah, we're going back over to be near the lake. This is one way here, luckily. So there you go. There's the McDonald's again. Well, they don't care about the fact that we've got right of way right now. Sorry, I missed a message from Gregory. There we go. I'm sure it'd be safe for you to put the camera down and join in, Lynn. Yeah, but it won't be safe for you, Greg, because I don't have a stand for my camera and it'd just be lying on the ground. So, sorry. Oh, there's another class over here. Ronnie Lynn says it's like the whole city is exercising. It really is. It really feels like that. Annette says you're welcome, Richard. Jay says, I feel like I'd actually feel comfortable joining one of those classes. I'm sure you'd be really welcome, Jay, because everyone's welcome. I can't tell you anything about this gate other than that it's really interesting. It makes a lovely backdrop for selfies. And Jay also says, and no, the McDonald's will definitely not taste the same as the US version. Um, yeah, I think we all agree. We probably feel okay. You gonna walk through the gate, or do I have to? Let me show you the red trees here before I do. Gregory says, "Oh well, better than having you lying on the ground." There we go. All right, we've already gone further than I was intending. How are we going for time? We've still got about 10 minutes, so we'll keep going. It's a lovely reflection over here with the red and purple flowers. And look at the flower planting here. It's such a pretty city, it really is. There we go. All right. And I know of at least one more exercise class, so let's head in that direction. They were playing, what am I looking at? The Street Sweeper. There's a pink bus, reverse parking. I am going to go out on a limb here and say that I think Vietnamese drivers are probably the best in the world. They're certainly better than Australian drivers, put it that way. Because they're aware of their surroundings, they're courteous. We've seen one accident the entire time we've been here. That was on the very first day. And it might look chaotic, but once you are in amongst it, you don't feel unsafe. Richard says, yeah, just scared shitless. So here we are, we're around the other side of the lake now, and there's the Turtle Tower once again in the background. Of course, choosing to do a tour at this time of day means that we're here with the utilities again. Yeah, we want to get ahead of him though. Richard says we want him to go ahead. All right, we'll let him go ahead. But he's so slow. Hey. All right, we're letting the street sweeper go ahead. So here's some of this must have been a venue for some of the celebrations. We just got a wave. For some of the celebrations for Reunification Day, we've got some kind of a plaza here, a town square, with the Vietnamese flag in place. And then there's this big pedestal here. And this is marking 70 years. So this is the 70 years. This is just a temporary structure. So they would have had some kind of event here on the 30th. And there's a statue over in the middle there. Now, I don't know who that is. It could be Confucius. We'll go over and have a look, huh? We haven't actually been to this park before, so let's go and check it out. And this side of the lake is known as the French Quarter. So when you enter the streets over this side, the boulevards become wider. There's more French style buildings and cafes. And it looks like I might have a bit of a lining up issue. I'm slightly on a slope, aren't I? Sorry about that, guys. I always check before I go live that it's level, but it doesn't look like that I got it quite right on this occasion. But they look like they're doing some kind of a practice, a fan dance of some sort. All right, so whoever he is, maybe he was the city founder, the city father, Li Tai To. The city was founded in 1010. So pretty. And I bet you're wondering what's going on making all that noise behind me. Oh, have you heard of laugh therapy, laugh meditation? I think we stumbled on a laugh meditation class. Hilarious. I thought you'd keep going. Richard was playing hucky suck with this lady down here. He ran out of puff. So we can get a glimpse here too of some of the old French buildings. Okay, let's head towards the bridge. Seriously, Gregory? Yes, seriously, it is. It's a thing. Look it up. I have heard of it before. Laugh therapy or laugh meditation or laugh classes. Can you still hear them in the background laughing? And we can see this 70 years poster better from here as well. You've heard of laughing therapy? Yeah, it's a thing. Well, we just saw them doing it, didn't we? And here's another one of these posters. Just trying to work out where to cross. So there's another one of these 70 years posters. Laughter therapy is Indian, Tarek, and welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I didn't know that. Didn't know where it originated from. All right, we're going to take our chances again in between the bikes. So they make their way around us. Is there any celebrations next week for Buddha's birthday? I'm not aware of anything, Joanne. Can you tell me a little bit more? We're actually going to be leaving Hanoi on Monday, and heading for Cat Bar Island. We decided instead of Ha Long Bay, which is more famous and gets more tourists and more boats, it gets quite busy and crowded apparently, we've decided to opt for a different place to see the beautiful waterways off the coast of Vietnam with the incredible island and rock formations. So this looks like clap therapy. It's the 15th. I'll keep an eye out for it. Maybe that we'll be on Cat Bar Island, so I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look and see what's going on. Gregory says, see if you're still laughing when you get the doctor's bill. All right, 15th. Gregory says you don't need a doctor for it. Okay, I'm just sort of repeating comments here. 15th, Joanna. I'll keep an eye out for it. I'll try and see if there's anything I can track down. So when we came up here the other day, there was an exercise class, and they were exercising to what was it? Yeah, it was Boney M. Something about the moon. The song will come to me. It was very odd seeing these mature Vietnamese ladies exercising to Boney M. Right, we're coming up to an hour. I think we'll finish up soon. I hope you've enjoyed this lovely walk around Kiem Lake, which is so pretty. This is the best time of day to do it. Far less traffic and less noisy. But look at this side here. It's really pretty around this side. Palms, lots of trees. And there's a temple in the middle of the lake here, connected by a bridge. It's another site that we haven't visited as yet. And we still have a few more days here in Hanoi. Sarah says maybe it's law that they have to exercise. Do you know, I think it's more a case of that there's a lot of sitting around in their jobs, especially for the vendors. They're down in like a crouch or a squat for much of the day. And for the rest of the day, it's really hot. So this is the only time of day where you can do it. And it's one of the few public spaces. So it kind of all comes together. Oh, look. So we're going to head towards the bridge and we'll finish up over there. Yeah, I think there's a number of factors that all bring it together in one place and one time. Residences are very small. No one has backyards. Public space is limited. And this really is the best time of day to be doing something like this. Okay, here we go. Here's a shot for you. I just need to get to it. I don't want to All right, let's see. This beautiful red tree with the bridge in the background. Look at this. And that bridge leads to the temple. Good on you, Lisa, and thanks for coming along. You're very welcome. Go. Lovely reflection of the bridge over there. And then over the other side is a statue to the Vietnam War. I might just try and get to that gate. We have to go around through here. Through here. I don't like walking through the middle of this exercise class. All right, I'm going to take you to the front of the gate that leads to the temple, just so you can see it. Yeah, we have to go around this way. Otherwise, I'm walking right through the middle of the exercise class. You're very welcome, Joanne. Not quite finished yet. I'm just going to show you this gate up ahead, and then we'll finish up. So this is the entrance gate to the temple on the island. There we go. So we have a series of entries here. So we have the outer gates here, and then as we enter, there's a more ornate gate depicting a tiger and dragons. And all of these figures were featured in the puppet show last night as well. The dragons and the tiger were both puppets in the puppet show. I have to try and get you some images from that if I can. And then as we walk along here, there's some information about the island and the temple itself laid out on placards. But these ladies are doing Tai Chi. This is more my pace. Oh, Laurie, I have no idea. No idea. I wish I knew. I should get a step counter or something, shouldn't I? And then on that side, you've got the Koei carp. Yeah, how does that line up? Is that lining up all right? I'm going to turn the camera around and finish up. Let's get into that and camera and front camera. You'll see that I'm now glowing. I'm now glowing. I've worked up a little bit of moisture on my face. And there we go. All right, thanks everyone for joining us today. We're just trying to get out of camera. Thanks again. I've enjoyed your company as I always do, and thank you once again for joining me. I don't have anything lined up at all at the moment. I'm working on video, and because we're heading to Cat Bar on Monday, and we're not sure exactly what the place looks like or what I'm going to be able to do there. I haven't actually got anything planned, but I hope to be able to bring you something from there as well. So let's finish up with you're very welcome, Lynn. Laurie says thank you. Hi to Richard. And Sarah says thank you. You're very welcome, everybody. Turning the camera around one last time to look at these dragons. and it's a process turning the camera around. There we go, that's it. So there's the dragons. All right, everyone, thanks again, and see you next time. And if you're joining later, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, bye for now.